Hey, the king is back, and today I thought I would give my opinion on who I think all of the interesting fighters from UFC 305 should fight next. But like I said, interesting fighters, I'm not going to be going over Song Kanan beating up Ricky Glenn, because I really don't care about who he fights next, if I'm completely honest with you. I would go over Casey O'Neill versus Santos, but the person who definitely wasn't streaming it for me had a Simpsons episode over it, so I couldn't even tell you how that fight went and who she should fight next. But anyway, let's get right into this. First, we got Walter Walker, and I think he should be fighting Justin Tafa. This writes itself. He beat Junior Tafa. He got slapped. He's got to get his get back. This is a very easy fight to make. It will probably go in the exact same fashion. Walter Walker is a massive lobster, okay? But he's probably just going to get wobbled, take Tafa down, sit on him. Maybe Tafa will scream, and then maybe the fight will get stopped, okay? Did you change that rule? I'm fucking upset about that. But anyway, we move on to the next fight, which is it's the boy, the Leech, who got knocked out cold, sadly. But I'm helping him out here. Because for the Leech's next fight, I think he should be taken on. But yo, by the way, why is Nico Price built like that? He's built so funny. Like look at his shoulders. Like his shoulders are just poking out. But anyway, Nico Price is coming off a win. He's further away from the top 15 than the Leech is. I think there's a massive, not massive, I think there's definitely a skill gap here, but I think it'll be a fun, gritty fight. And the Leech does have to fight down the competition. First fight in 2 years. Got knocked out cold. It's fucked up. But let's speak about the guy who knocked out the Leech, which is Carlos Prates. And I think he should be fighting the winner of Neil Magny and Michael Morales, okay? Because first guy to ever knock out the Leech, right? You deserve a top 15 fight. I think Carlos Prates is really good. Fights for the Fighting Nerds, which are 8-0 this year, which I saw on Instagram today. He had a great performance. He had a great performance against Charles Radke. He's owed a top 15 fight. And I think he beats Neil Magny. Okay, I think he's definitely the caliber fighter that beats Neil Magny. And him versus Michael Morales, and Michael Morales I think is going to beat Neil Magny. Them two against each other is a very interesting fight, so that's a fight I like to see. Get him in the top 15. Give him the opportunity to get in the top 15. Very deserved. We move on to the next one, which is the boy, Tai Tuivasa, okay? The UFC has been giving Tai zero favours by who they've been matching him up with. He's been given hard guys, okay? And I'm probably giving him the hardest guy outside the top 15, which is Mick Parkin. Now, Mick Parkin does look slow in the head. Doesn't look like the most intelligent fellow. Looks like he'd be hard to have a conversation with. He's from Wigan, I think, so like, no shit. But Mick Parkin is over the top 15 fight. There is a guy he's not going to be in the top 10 anymore, who's going to be in the top 15, who is on a 5 fight losing streak at this point. If he doesn't get cut from the UFC, this is the fight that should be made. And this is the last chance for Tai Tuivasa to not get cut by the UFC. And there's a chance for Mick Parkin to get in the top 15, get some fresh new blood up in there. But then we had the winner of that fight, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, okay? So, at first I was thinking about him versus Curtis Blades, but they fought about 3 years ago at this point. Also, Curtis Blades just lost to the champ, where Sergey Pavlovich is coming off 2 losses, which one was to the champ and the other was to Volkov. So really Pavlovich has to fight down further than Curtis does. And I think Jairzinho, I mean everyone else is pretty much booked above Jairzinho, but I think Jairzinho deserves to fight up 100% obviously. And I think this is probably the best fight you can give him. Like I said, everyone's booked. Normally I wouldn't put him this high. I wouldn't give him a top 5 fight. Maybe someone at number 7 or 8 range. But like I said, everyone else is booked. So this is the best fight that can be made at the moment. But next up, we got... Oh no. Okay, so let me justify this real quick. Gamrot just lost to number 12, right? Took a big step down in the rankings and lost. He's probably going to be at that number 9 range, 8, 9. Paddy Pimblett is number 15. Okay, just in the rankings. They want to move Paddy Pimblett up. This is the perfect fight to move him up, okay? Because Gamrot is a wrestler. A chinny wrestler. Paddy Pimblett's got great jiu-jitsu, can catch him while on the ground, and is probably going to knock him down or wobble him on the feet, because Gamrot, I think, has been wobbled or knocked down in 5 out of his last 6 fights. The odds, in my opinion, are against Gamrot in this fight, but this is the fight to be made. The UFC are going to do Gamrot 0 favours. He was already getting fucked over and bent over by the company as it was. It's going to get even worse now. He's never getting a title shot, man. Poor fucking guy. But this is the fight that should be made. But then we move on to the winner of that fight, which is the boy Dan Hooker. And at first I was thinking Charles Oliveira fight, but Charles spoke about some fight news recently, and that was before this fight happened. And also, this fight is just a fun fight, man. Dustin Poirier speaking about having one more fight. Dan Hooker should get a top 5 fight. That first fight was fight of the year 2020, right? This is the fight that should be made. A fun fight, a throwback fight. Two great names in the lightweight division. A fight Dan Hooker deserves. A fight Dustin Poirier would probably want. This is very clearly the fight to be made. This has fight of the year written all over it. There's no reason not to make this fight. I think this is a dead given. But then, listen, I don't really care because I don't like Kai Kara France. He just looks greasy. He just looks like squirmy. And if Asakura gets this above him, or fucking hell, Tatsuya Taira gets it above him, you won't see me upset. I really don't care, but I definitely care about the next one, which is Steve Erceg. And at first I was thinking Manel Cap, but Manel Cap just lost. Manel Cap should be fighting down. Tagir Umbekov should be fighting up. He's on a decent win streak. Just beat Cody Durden recently, and he deserves to fight up. And obviously Steve Erceg has to fight down. I pray that Steve Erceg would win this fight, but this is just a case of Steve Erceg having to fight it down, Tagir deserving to fight up. This is what the match that you get. We move on. Okay, let me explain why there's 3 different people on the screen. So, if Izzy wants to stay at middleweight, which I don't think he should do, he should fight Imanov, okay? If he wants to stay at middleweight, that is not what he should do, though. By the way, I know Imanov is booked against Brendan Allen. He's going to beat Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's not that good, in my opinion. But if Izzy does the correct thing in moving up to light heavyweight, which he should do, because if he wants a title and he wants to add any more legacy to his career, winning the middleweight belt would not do that for you. Winning the light heavyweight belt would do that for you, and you also have a win over the champ. Now, I think if he does move up to light heavyweight, he will fight Yuri Prochazka. That's why Yuri's here. I don't think he should fight Yuri Prochazka. I think he should fight Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill's a lot more favourable matchup than Yuri Prochazka is for Israel Adesanya. But they got their little friendship, so I don't know if it'll happen. That is why there's 3 people there. And then we move on to the big one, which is pretty fucking obvious. It should be Sean Strickland. Now, obviously, there's the whole argument about Whitaker. I think Whitaker's going to beat Hamza. The thing is, if Whitaker beats Hamza, he would be more deserving than Strickland. But hopefully, we can just get this fight done quick. Maybe February, January next year. And then in April, May, we can get the Whitaker fight done. Because Sean does deserve it, and he's deserved it for a while. I feel like it's pretty dirty if we don't give it him and wait for Whitaker. I feel like if we just get this fight done relatively quick, in less than half a year, then everyone's happy. Sean gets his shot, Whitaker will get his shot. I think this is pretty basic, it's pretty obvious. And yeah, these are my thoughts. These are who I think should be matched up against each other. And yeah, I'm out. See ya.